WHTD ready to take it away. Ava and Haley as we gear up for this year's Newscast in Mr. Gustavson's 5th grade class.
This is WHTD. Hello, I'm Ava.
And I'm Haley.
We're so honored for you tuning in today to listen to our important news.
Today you will hear some extraordinary stories.
Have you ever heard of the infamous game called Fortnite? Well, we're about to blast off into the world of Fortnite and how it's affecting sport players for the greater good with Vanessa.
Thanks, Ava. Hi, I'm Vanessa Gould. The popular video game Fortnite has found a new fan base. While originally intended to capture the interest of video game fanatics, including kids and teens, today some professional athletes have discovered its effective training tools. Fortnite is an open-world survival game with over 25 million registered participants. Features two different types of games. One being to save the world is like a killing zombie game. The other one is Battle Royale, which is free unlike the other game. Major League Baseball players are now enjoying the games during breaks while in the dugout or in hotels. Fortnite is so popular now. There are tournaments. Tournaments are coordinated by solo, duo, and squad. Esports has a big tournament where millions of people try their best. The winner of that is Kyle Guidor, who won $3 million. Baseball players come and go from different teams, but they can still play Fortnite together. If you let baseball consume you too long, it can get overwhelming, said Nick Banks. I think what that means is that if you're stressed before a game, get relaxed and play a video game. That's a wrap up, and I'm going to tell you, have fun playing this extraordinary game. Back to you, Haley.
Thanks, Vanessa. That was an outstanding story you told us.
Yeah, I had no idea that sport players even play Fortnite.
I thought they would spend their time practicing for a game.
It seems everyone loves Fortnite.
Vroom, vroom, here comes Joy with a futuristic story about hypercars and supercars.
Thanks, Ava. Hi, my name is Joey, and I'm going to talk about supercars and hypercars. I'll be telling you about their engines, their amazing lap times, and how cars become supercars and hypercars. Here are some facts. Supercars have hundreds of horsepower, million-dollar price tags, lap times that make most race cars blush. These are supercars. The top of the range of today's performance cars. Supercars can be best defined with their most common characteristics: performance, technology, design, and price. They don't need to hold elevated stats in all four characteristics to qualify. And most often, performance is then used as the ultimate yardstick. Case in point, the Corvette C706 puts up amazing numbers and lap times and has a compelling design and only costs $80,000, significantly less than its competitors. Despite the low price, it's still a supercar. The McLaren 650s has design language handed down from the P1, plus sub 30-second 0 to 60 times, and offers nothing in the way of unique or boundary-pushing technology. To get to the hypercar stats, a car has to meet all the characteristics of a supercar and push the boundaries of performance, technology, and design. Hypercars. This term hypercars coined to qualify the top 1% of supercars. All hypercars are supercars, but not all supercars are hypercars. And while the qualifiers that allow a car to be elevated out of supercar territory and into the hypercar pantheon aren't obvious. The McLaren P1, Ferrari LaFerrari, Porsche 918, all near 1,000 horsepower with first-class new age technology, million-dollar price tags, and stunning design and performance rivaled only by each other. Almost every aspect of each car is an advancement in automotive technology and puts them high atop the motoring totem pole. Hypercars are the stick against which all cars are meant to be measured, and not a single compromise can be made. I hope that helps you learn more about supercars and hypercars. Now back to Ava.
Thank you, Joey, for that interesting and detailed story about these amazing cars.
Well, that's an extraordinary type of car.
Have you ever wanted to make millions of dollars? Well, I'll be sending you off to learn about a boy at age 8 who's accomplished that very feat on the app everyone's heard of, YouTube.
Thanks, Ava. Hi, I'm Haley Doyle with a story about a young millionaire that loves making YouTube videos at his house. I'd like to introduce you to Ryan, an 8-year-old boy from Texas. Ryan's YouTube channel is called Ryan's World, also known as Ryan's Toy Review, where he has 24.8 million subscribers. Ryan worked with his parents to make a YouTube channel. He also made $11 million in a single year off of YouTube. On Ryan's YouTube channel, he has 1,666 videos on YouTube. On March 9th, Ryan's parents started his YouTube channel when Ryan was only 5 years old. Whoa, that's young. His parents started his YouTube channel for fun. They never thought they would get this far. Right now, Ryan lives in Texas with his mom, dad, and twin sisters, Emma and Kate. Ryan also has his own TV show called Ryan's Mystery Playdate. Another cool thing about Ryan's YouTube channel is that he has his channels in 3 different languages: English, Spanish, and Chinese. Those are all languages that Ryan can speak. That's impressive. This year's Ryan's merchandise is planned to make $150 million. The reason Ryan can make that much money off of toys he sells is because he puts his merchandise in 75,000 stores worldwide. Whoa, that's a lot of stores. I hope you now know you have a 50-50 chance of becoming famous on YouTube. Now back to you, Ava.
It's amazing that kids can earn that much money through the internet. It's extraordinary.
Now we're going to jump into the world of space with Jacob and his space-tastic facts.
Thanks, Haley. Hi, I'm Jacob. Did you know that black holes are made of dark matter? Completely invisible dark matter known as antimatter. 85% of the universe is made of dark matter. The rest is made of dark energy and normal, ordinary matter. Black holes are always spherical, and when they are full, they burn out everything that they ate. Black holes are extremely hot on the outside, yet freezing on the inside. Black holes are portals between the universes, and they are sometimes called wormholes. In 1916, Carl Schwarzschild discovered the first black hole. He thought it was possible for perfectly spherical objects embedded in empty space to exist. With the help of the Event Horizon Telescope, which is actually more than one telescope scattered around the world, he spotted a black hole in the galaxy called M87. It turns out the black hole he spotted was a supermassive black hole, 77.2 billion times bigger than the Sun, and 26.6 billion miles wide. He also discovered that black holes can merge with anything, even other black holes. The black hole in M87 is the largest black hole that can be seen from Earth. M87's black hole sometimes spews out bright jets of particles that go flying light years away. Scientists are planning to get a telescope into outer space so they can catch one of the black holes spewing out particles. There's also something called a white hole, which is all the light within a black hole. So a white hole is the opposite of a black hole. Nothing can escape a black hole, but nothing can enter a white hole. In fact, a white hole pushes things away while a black hole eats everything. A white hole looks like a black hole, only it's white. Black holes and white holes are always going to be one of the most mysterious things in outer space forever. Now back to you, Ava.
I never knew about anything about black holes, but now I can't get my mind off how mysterious they are.
People always call them black holes, but I never knew they can really be red and even purple.
Have you ever wondered about air traffic controllers, and what they do? Well, in this intriguing story, you will find out about how important they are.
Cleared for takeoff. Air traffic controllers in the tower gave the go-ahead to pilots. Jet engines quickly rev up, then with the forceful blast, the airplane is thrust forward and up into the sky. Air traffic controllers play a vital role every day at airports across the world. They guide pilots who are responsible for getting passengers safely to their destinations. Air traffic controllers plan the arrivals and departures of all airplanes and give pilots landing and takeoff instructions. They also use radar to watch and direct air traffic as necessary.
The air traffic controllers will tell the pilots to change their paths while also providing current weather updates if there is an emergency in the tower and or outside the tower. The controllers will update the airport staff as well. Air traffic controllers make sure that planes stay safe distances apart so there are no collisions before an airplane takeoff. They also confirm that pilots have gone through a checklist of safety procedures. According to the Federal Aviation Administration, if you flew from Baltimore, Maryland to Los Angeles, California, pilots will talk to 28 controllers in 11 different facilities. 14,000 air traffic controllers nationwide guide pilots and their planes with 2.7 million passengers daily. Wow, that's a lot of lives air traffic controllers are responsible for. Now back to you, Ava.
I never knew that air traffic controllers have such big responsibility and so much work to do.
Yeah, I never knew how important their jobs is to planes and for the passengers.
Now bouncing over to Ava with some fiery facts about how wildfires are killing the environment.
Thank you, Haley. Imagine if the whole sky was jet black with smoke, the heat intense on your skin. You choke as you inhale the thick ashes and smoke, and finally see the fire closing in. Well, this is happening on the other side of the world. Hello, I'm Ava Blackington, here to discuss an urgent problem that we're facing: the recent wildfires in many parts of Australia. Thousands of acres have been burning since January of 2019, according to Newscast, causing record-breaking heat all over the continent. According to Smithsonian Tween, fires produce carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide. Without the forests of Australia, there is less breathable oxygen. This is both alarming and devastating for all life across the globe. The climate has already started to slowly change in many parts of the continent, which was stated by the National Environmental Science Program. But what's happening to stop the fires? According to U.S. News, thousands of firefighters have been sent to fight the forests that are burning and control the quickly spreading fires so they don't inflict more damage. The federal government has sent some of the military to assist the firefighters and to also assist in search and rescue. We need to help the best we can, or we face losing the rainforest in our battle with climate change. Now back to Haley.
Oh no, that is so bad. Without trees, we can't live.
Now let's talk about another interesting story with Michael. Have you ever wanted your pet to come back to life? Well, in Michael's terrific story, he will be talking about a certain animal that might have a chance of coming back from extinction.
Thanks, Ava. Hi, today I will provide some marvelous mammoth information. As you may know, mammoths are on the verge of being brought back. This could be possible by using old mammoth DNA and different types of cells, which would be brain cells and blood cells. The reason this is happening is because the mammoth body has to be studied, and you can eat mammoth meat. This has been a popular study over the last few years. Everyone is wondering if mammoths will be brought back. They're considered mammoths as a mammoth. They're considered as mammoths. These mammoths would contain small ears, subcutaneous fat, long and shaggy hair, and cold adaptive blood. These creatures could be here by 2021, but we never know what to expect, so the mammoth could come earlier, could last up to 10 years of waiting. The worst case scenario is that mammoths don't come back at all. Woolly mammoths can also help prevent tundra permafrost from melting, because grass takes up less sunlight than trees, which will prevent carbon pools from escaping, which would release huge amounts of greenhouse air. This is a serious and scientific question. This could tell if the big Ice Age mammoth will roam the earth again. Just imagine seeing a real mammoth stomping around your backyard. You can like these creatures, and you can hate them. But either way, I hope you learned something new. Now back over to you, Haley.
Thanks, Michael. I had no idea that there was even a chance to bring back mammoths.
If you were to ask me if it was possible to bring mammoths back from extinction, I would say it's impossible. But now, after I heard Michael's story, I think it might be possible.
That was all for our stories today.
We hope you all found our news interesting and learned a few new things.
Reporting live from WGHR.
Hi, I'm Luca.
And I'm Izzy.
Today at WGHR we have some very cool news.
First, we have Addie with smoking hot facts about vaping.
This is WJHR, and I'm Addison Roy. Thanks, Izzy. Hi, I'm Maddie. Out with the smoking and in with the vaping, the new trend in smoking. Vaping has a problem all over our nation since 2018, with the vaping products being invented every day. Kids in middle school and high school are smoking and juuling. Vaping is increasing due to addictive flavor-filled devices called Juul. Kids may think that vaping is the new trend, but don't realize the dangers. What teens don't know is that vaping can equal to 20 cigarettes. If you start to vape, you can make it what's called popcorn lungs, even cancer in later life. Another negative effect, nicotine stops your brain cells from growing. Peer pressure is a leading cause of vaping. Teens say it makes them feel good or cool for a minute or two. Some vaping products can be camouflaged to look like school supplies. Also, hoodies can be attached with a vaping device so it's easy to hide, blending in with other clothing. Juul and other vape products were designed for adults to help them quit smoking. Unfortunately, kids got a hold of vaping. Another concern with vaping is products and industries recognize they can increase profits and make more money. Even children in elementary schools are vaping. Finally, vaping is also not healthy for your mouth. It leads to mouth cancer and disease. The nicotine in the vaping product causes restriction to your gum vessels, reducing gum supply. Flavored nicotine is more damaging to the mouth. The flavors kill the cells that line up the mouth that make up your mouth tissue. It takes epithelial cells and puts it in a special media and exposes them to nicotine and flavoring. After 3 days of vaping, half of your cells are damaged from the nicotine you're deciding to put in your mouth. For the sake of your mouth and lungs, don't vape. Back to you, Luca.
Wow, I didn't know that vaping is really that bad.
I know, vaping is horrible.
And now to Seneca with some sick facts about the Ebola virus.
Welcome to WGHR. I am Seneca, reporting on a deadly virus called Ebola. According to the news website Newscast, Ebola gets in your blood cells and kills and makes them explode. Ebola first occurred in the United States in 2014, but researchers believe that Ebola first started in 1976 in Guinea, Liberia, Niagara, and Sierra Leone. Also, Ebola was becoming very difficult to control and deadly. As a result, this scares people. Scientists have proven that Ebola originated from a bat. They were also trying to find a cure for Ebola that involved in drugs. The drugs show survival rates that look to be 90% in patients involved in clinical trials, or at least what scientists say. People were raising money in Africa for Ebola, and a guy named Harrison, who was an Ebola survivor, decided to make the first Ebola soccer game that was for the Ebola survivors after all the people that have passed. Harrison would play against the medical staff that either helped him, his family, or friends, or just survivors in general. Harrison was an Ebola survivor with his mom, brother, sister, and had to live with 15 orphans. 38 people in his family have passed, but he fought through it. About a year later, Ebola ended around November 7th, 2015. World Health Organization declares, I hope everyone will continue staying healthy and future cases of Ebola do not occur. Back to you, Izzy.
Wow, I didn't know that the Ebola virus kills thousands of people affected by it.
Yes, the Ebola virus is very bad.
Now here's Selena blowing us out of this world with vaping products.
Thanks, Izzy. In the past year, vaping has killed more than 150 kids under the age of 18. Hi, I'm Helena, and today I'm going to share the awful truth about vaping. In 2007, inventor Han Litt came up with an idea for an electronic cigarette. Originally intended to be a safe alternative to smoking, vaping has become a new, unhealthy choice amongst teens. While vaping is a huge problem nationwide in high schools, the trend is slowly expanding to younger children, finding it easy to vape anytime and anywhere. One of the other problems is that vaping can lead to growing damage in your brain cells. You may get seizures and possibly get lung cancer. Also, vaping can kill you much quicker than a regular cigarette. Smoking one pod is equal to smoking 20 cigarettes. Teens are blaming the flavors due to them vaping for being as addictive as it is. Instead of regular tobacco flavor, they are fruity flavors which are very addicting. They were mainly invented for adults to stop smoking. Once you start, it's not easy to stop. So for your safety, please don't vape. Back to you, Luca.
I can't believe that vaping has killed over 100 kids under 18.
Yes, that is very surprising. And now we have Luca with some sticky facts about bees going endangered.
Thanks, Izzy. Have you ever tried honey and liked it? Well, you're in a sticky situation because bees are becoming endangered. Not all bees produce honey. In fact, only 9% of bees make honey. There are many species of bees, including the carpenter bee and the honey bee. All species have a queen. Her duty is to lay eggs. They also have a drone. They fertilize the queen so she can lay eggs. Finally is the worker bee. They keep the hive clean and make honey. A couple reasons why the bee population is declining are pesticides, habitat loss, and climate change. One of these reasons why the bees are dying from pesticides is because humans who grow fruits or crops will spray pesticides on the fruits or crops, but then the bees come to pollinate and they'll die from the chemicals. Bees are dying from habitat loss, and this is happening because humans are clearing out so many natural lands and replacing it with buildings. So wild bees cannot survive if there's no more space for them to build a hive. Bees can adapt to the climate, but now with the climate rapidly changing, bees cannot adapt as much. Humans rely on bees to pollinate crops, so if bees go extinct, humans will see a huge drop in all crop pollination. Bees are dying, but you can help by raising a hive or growing a plant or more. Thanks, and back to you, Izzy.
Wow, I didn't know pesticides kill bees.
Yeah, it's a real danger.
Now we have Callie with some gliding facts about airplanes.
Thanks, Izzy. I'm Callie from WGHR with some interesting facts and history that everyone will enjoy hearing about airplanes, their inventors, developing, and uses all around the world. There are many different types of airplanes like commercial transport planes, general aviation planes, military planes, seaplanes, and special purpose planes. Most big airliners can carry 100 to 250 passengers. The largest passenger aircraft, the Airbus A380, has room for over 550 passengers and carries 151,400 gallons of fuel. The very first airplane was invented in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina by the Wright brothers in 1905. Their plane, 852 feet in length, flew 120 feet on the first flight, staying in the air for 12 seconds. Orville and Wilbur Wright successfully created an airplane that could fly for dozens of miles. Wing design, nose shape, and body shape have been altered, allowing planes to smoothly roll over the fuselage with very little wing resistance. Since World War I, airplanes' capabilities design had advanced rapidly. That brings us to the airplanes we have now. Thanks for listening. Back to you, Izzy.
That presentation blew me away.
Yeah, it did.
Now to Braden with some info on a futuristic car.
This is WGHR, and my name is Braden Edmonds. Thanks, Luca. Hi, I am Braden, and if you like cars, you are in luck, because this one's future-like. The Hyundai Cradle is mostly built for safety and will help us with the modern world. This is a car that can walk on four wheels and does a lot more. The new Hyundai Cradle Elevate was unveiled in 2019 at the Consumers Electronics Show, and it will be sold at Hyundai in 2020. This car was made for disabled people and people that were injured. People that have disabilities, wheelchairs, and the blind can go right in for doctor's appointments. It can walk up the door, level itself, and allow the wheelchair to roll in, says the Hyundai team. There is a special rubber on this car which allows it to go through fire. The Cradle can climb over debris and crumble concrete. The Cradle Elevate has 4 robotic legs, making it walk over terrain that's very rocky, and it can climb out of ditches. After a natural disaster, the first 72 hours is where the most important for first responders. If a tsunami or earthquake hits, rescue vehicles can currently deliver emergency responders to the edge of the debris field. They have to walk the foot rest of the way. The Hyundai can go beyond what current rescue vehicles can do. They can deliver emergency responders faster and further than currently. I think most people will like Hyundai's creation. Thank you for listening to my presentation. Now back to you, Izzy.
Wow, I didn't know the tire rubber makes it so it can go through fire.
Yeah, you think they'd pop in a fire just like a balloon. Our final presentation is underway with Izzy's ocean pollution.
Thanks, Luca. So you probably heard of some of the sources of ocean pollution, like littering. But there is an even larger source. It is very, very bad, and you'll find out in my part what it is. Pollution to the ocean is very common. Although there are only 9 sources of pollution in the world, that still affects our oceans negatively. But the biggest ocean pollution source is called non-point source pollution, which, according to NOAA, ends up as a runoff. This pollution starts on land. Like most kinds of pollution, it happens all the time and happens all over the continents. Non-point source pollution begins with human transport and farms. When people drive, a tiny amount of oil is left on roads, and that oil makes its way to sea. And the smog, which comes from cars, also goes to the ocean. As for the farms, some fertilizer is left out and also makes its way to the ocean. The oil, smog, and fertilizer make their way to the sea, polluting our oceans and hurting fish and other marine life in the ocean. No one knows how all this stuff ends up in the sea, but we know that it is really bad for marine life. So now you know the biggest source of pollution in the ocean. You might think that you can't stop this, right? Well, actually, there are some ways to stop this pollution. One way is to stop using cars and use bikes instead, since bikes use less oil than cars. The other way is to stop using fertilizer and let the crops grow themselves. This might hurt us, but it's to save our oceans. And that is the end of my part, so back to you, Luca.
Ocean pollution is messed up.
I know, right?
Yes, Izzy, and we hope you enjoyed the news from WGHR today.
Yes, we hope you enjoyed everything from the Ebola virus to why bees are going endangered.
Thank you for tuning in today and have a nice day.
Bye, everyone.
Welcome to WDTN.
Hi, my name is Blake.
And I'm Sophia. Welcome to WDTN. Today we have Austin with history on the Boston Bruins.
This is WDTN. My name is Austin. Thanks, Sophia. Goal! A crackling sound echoes through the TD Garden. A forceful slap shot sends the hockey puck zooming across the ice and into the net. The fans cheer. The Boston Bruins have scored another goal and have won Game 7 of the 2011 National Hockey League Stanley Cup Championship, defeating the Vancouver Canucks 4-0. Hi, I'm Austin with some interesting historical facts about the Boston Bruins hockey team. Did you know the Boston Bruins were the first American team to join the NHL? On November 1st, 1924, Charles Adams was granted a franchise by the NHL for the city of Boston. December 1st, 1924 was a big day for the Boston Bruins, who played their first NHL Hockey League game. The Boston Bruins were named after an Old English term meaning a brown bear. They got their colors from Charles Adams' grocery chain colors. Their first logo was brown and white until they decided on the colors black, white, and gold. Did you know the Boston Bruins have changed their logo 6 times and also known for having the first black NHL player in 1957? His name was Willie O'Ree. The Boston Bruins have won 6 Stanley Cups so far in 1929, 39, 41, 70, 72, and in 2011. They also have won 25 division championships. For more history about the Boston Bruins, you can look online or visit your local library. Thanks for listening. Back to you, Sophia.
That's cool. I never knew that the Bruins had the first black NHL player. That's awesome.
Now we have Madison with his story on wolves.
This is WDTN. Thanks, Blake. Hi, my name is Maddie. Bam! The sound of an echoing gunshot being fired this present day and year throughout parts of the United States to eliminate wild wolves is considered a problem. As of 1973, wolf populations were decreasing and believed to be endangered in the lower 48 states, with Washington being the hardest hit. This was because farmers found wolves to be a nuisance, since they were frequently killing and eating the livestock that they depended on to make a living. Unfortunately, people are destroying their homes to make farms.
They make them to make money, food, and more. Did you know that wolves are considered legendary because of their spine-tingling howl which they use to communicate? They will also respond to something that sounds like a howl, like a train. Also, if you think that wolves howl at the moon, they don't. They're still communicating with each other. Anyway, thanks. Now back to you, Blake.
Cool. I didn't know that wolves are legendary for their howl.
Now on to Jackson with video game addiction.
Thanks, Sophia. Hi, I'm Jackson now with a helpful story that might be about you. Have you ever wondered why when you play a video game, you just can't put your device down? This is because of video game addiction. Video games have become addictive since video game designers intentionally code them to be this way. Once addicted, consumers will want to keep playing and buy other games by the same company. This results profits for the video game company. One way designers accomplish this is by developing video game recipes. Video game recipes are items to add into the game to make the game addicting. Another way to make video games addicting is by making it easy enough but not too hard enough for the player. Well, video game addiction is like another addiction, gambling addiction. Both are made to be addicting and for both make a profit for the company as well. Now that you know about video game addiction, do you think you can put your device down the first time? Now back to you, Sophia.
Wow, I never knew video games were made to be addicting.
So now I know why I can't put my phone down when I play Minecraft.
Now we have Blake with COPA.
Thanks, Sophia. Bang, the judge's gavel hit the table as Google is ordered to pay $170 million. Last September, the FTC fined YouTube because they were selling kids' data without parents' consent. Fortunately, a law initiated by Washington, D.C.'s government was enacted on January 7, 2020 to protect children under the age of 13. The Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, also known as COPPA, has made it illegal to collect data from kids. As a result, YouTube will have to follow the new laws to put in place. Having preyed on kids' information, they could run ads on videos that are geared specifically towards their interests. COPPA will now regulate information collected by YouTube to make sure children are better protected. Since YouTube requires background information to make videos, kids are freely sharing private information. YouTube then sold their data to companies. YouTube is making many changes to the platform to limit the amount of kids' data they collect. You need to mark each video as made for kids or made for adults. If you mark your video wrong, you could potentially suffer a $42,000 fine from the FTC. If your video is made for kids, you will lose comments, like and dislike buttons, and the notifications. Most importantly, you will lose personalized ads. They often contain things you enjoy. If your video is made for adults, you will have all those things. Thank you for listening. Back to you, Sophia.
I can't believe Google was selling kids' data without permission. $170 million is a lot.
Now on to Tucker with the life-threatening coronavirus.
Thanks, Blake. So today we'll be taking a closer look into coronavirus. Coronavirus is a virus that started in China last year. The likely cause was from an animal, most likely a bat. The virus spreads from human to human is through contact. It is unclear who the virus was initially in and transmitted to. The virus spread to a person, then continued throughout the country, and now the world. Sometimes symptoms of coronavirus are cough, fever, shortness of breath. On March 11th, it reached 4,729 deaths with 128,000 cases. If you want to be safe, you must wear a mask, clean your hands, avoid close contact with people, Cover your nose with a tissue and don't touch frequently used items like a doorknob or a railing. According to research, the virus can be especially life-threatening to the elderly, infants who have not yet been vaccinated, and people with respiratory and heart conditions. It most commonly spreads in populated areas. Last month, the cruise ship, the Diamond Princess, had 97 deaths on board from the coronavirus. Air China has canceled all flights to Athens, Greece because of the virus. Doctors have not yet found a cure. If you are infected, you will be quarantined. 2 Jetstar flight passengers wrapped themselves in plastic sheets in fear of the coronavirus. The FBI has ordered $40,000 of hand sanitizer and face masks in case coronavirus becomes a pandemic in the United States. Also, the NBA, NHL, and MLB have shut down due to the coronavirus. Back to you, Blake.
I am really surprised that a life-threatening virus originated from a bat. Now on to Sophia with the Australian wildfires, with how Australian wildfires affect animals.
Thanks, Blake. Hi, my name is Sophia, and I'm going to be talking about how Australia's fires are affecting the animals. The fires in Australia have killed over 1 billion animals, some of which might go extinct. Kangaroos, koalas, some species of birds, and other animals are endangered. Some of these animals died of starvation because the fires burned down the plants and trees. The birds can't nest, and the other animals don't have enough food to live. Australia's Kangaroo Island is 1,700 square miles, and 2/3 of it has burned. Many species have been impacted, including the glossy black cockatoo, whose habitat has been burned by 50%. Thousands of koalas have died in the disaster. The brush-tailed rock wallaby is an endangered species whose vegetation was destroyed by the fire. The National Park and Wildlife Service has been airdropping carrots and sweet potatoes for the brush-tailed rock wallaby. After the fires end, the focus must turn to helping the remaining animals. The government announced a budget of $50 million to help rescue and protect wildlife affected by the crisis. Part of the efforts will include replanting trees and other vegetation to really know the impacts of these fires. Rescue crews need to get into areas where it's safe to do so. Thanks for listening. Back to you, Blake.
Well, I didn't know that over 1 billion animals have been killed in wildfire.
Now we have Evelyn with plastic pollution.
Thanks, Sophia. Hi, I'm Evelyn, with some shocking news about vast amounts of pollution occurring every day in oceans all around the world due to human carelessness. Did you know companies produce 420 million tons of plastic every year? Sadly, a large percentage of it ends up as garbage and finds its way into our seas. As a result, this not only impacts the appearance of water bodies, but it becomes a life-threatening hazard to sea life. This includes dolphins, turtles, sharks, whales, and some birds that eat off of the surface of the water. For example, sea turtles have been getting caught in plastic rings. Most of the time, their shells get deformed, and they are not able to hide from predators. That puts them in danger. The ocean is important, and so is recycling. So always recycle. Paper, plastic, boxes, and yogurt containers. Always keep the earth clean, and back to you, Sophia.
Wow, I didn't know that plastic pollution is hurting so many sea creatures. Thank you for listening to WDTN.